Hey everyone, Greg here. As you may know by now, I'm the co-founder and CEO of TripShock, an online reseller for water sports and tours. For the past 12 years, we've had the pleasure of working with hundreds of operators across the country, and we're looking to grow our community. It's free to sign up, and you only pay when we bring you confirmed bookings. We'll help you reach new customers, fill empty seats, and grow your business like so many have done with us over the years. Head over to partners.tripshock.com to learn more about our program, read testimonials, or speak directly with our supply team. As always, thank you for listening and enjoy the show. Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 67 of the Awkward Watersport Guys podcast. We are going to be giving our Arrival 2022 recap. What are you doing? I wish you guys could see the videos.
I just think there's no video. I think I just found a new game that I'm just going to fuck with you and like write stuff down on papers while you're doing your intros.
Well, Kevin just lifted up his shirt and rubbed his nipple. Why would you even do that? I don't even understand why you would do that.
Because I realize like you're coming in, you're like fucking like you're Ron Burgundy, like shuffling your papers, like, hello guys, this is Greg Fisher. This is like the scripted, like let's do this, and,
okay.
And that's how I take you off without saying anything, but by doing something weird on camera and fucking with you.
All right. Okay.
All right, do your fucking scripted intro. Have fun.
I'm done with my scripted intro. I'm going to go right into what we're going to talk about. Okay, so last week we went to the Arival conference in San Diego. We're going to talk about like some of the themes today, just talk about some of the things that happened. We got there. When did it start? Last Monday. And
I wasn't there.
Kevin wasn't there because he booked the wrong flights. He flew into San Francisco instead of San Diego.
That is not accurate at all. That is misinformation. I flew in. I was supposed to fly in on Tuesday. Monday, we were still working. We're getting ready for season. So I had shit I had to do in real life. And then on Tuesday, I flew into San Francisco, Greg. So get your fucking facts straight, bruh.
Yeah, you know what's funny? We were all in the hot tub. Steven from AMP and my TripShock team, and Steven starts like laughing hysterically. I said, what happened? He's like, Kevin's in San Francisco. And we all started just hysterically laughing. It was so funny. And all we could think about is Ilya just yapping in your ear, yelling at you because you booked the tickets.
No, he was actually very. Yeah,
what did Ilya do when you went to the airport and saw that it said San Francisco?
He was just like, he just got it done, man. He was just like got online and he was like, oh, and he found a flight out in 2 minutes. He was like, oh, okay, we got a flight out of San Francisco to San Diego. No, he's very analytical. He like, if we planned it, he would have ear fucked me for 3.5 straight hours how we should like book the flight, and we would have done it all right. We definitely wouldn't have landed in San Francisco, to his credit. But this is why we work well together, which is something I want to talk a little bit about on the show and Arrival and some of my key insights. But I mean, he would have taken 3.5 hours and it would have been perfect. I get shit done in 2 minutes. Like I'm like, done. Let's fucking go. Like I was down at the shop today and he was writing a list and I was like, get that fucking list out of your hand and get a fucking wrench and let's get to work. So we're a good.
So have you been fired from travel planning from now on?
No, man. I was in a fucking rush, and I mean, to be honest, like, dude, I was just kind of like burned out from I had traveled so much. Like every month I was in another city this year, and I was just burned the fuck out, man. And I just like waited to the very last minute, and I was just rushing, and it said San, and I was like, yep, San. And it went from like Google to American Airlines, and that's where the disconnect happened. Because I had it set for San Diego, but then it asked me to put in that information in American Airlines. And then I just checked from the drop down. It was like the first one. And I just clicked it and whoops. And then they canceled my flight coming back. So.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Alex on the way back, Alex is my business partner on TripShock, but he flew a day early back, hoping to miss this winter storm. He ended up getting to Charlotte. They canceled both of his flights and he had to drive back on Sunday to Massachusetts.
Yeah.
It was a pain. So anyway, so Kevin finally gets to Arrival, and Douglas. We all were there for the opening session on, I believe, Tuesday. Was it? I think it was Tuesday. Yeah. And Douglas had a wonderful intro for Kevin. You know, Kevin, it's just, everyone just likes to make fun of you. I just don't know what it is, but they just
I
like
have
to.
no idea.
But
I
you know
don't,
what? Like it's great branding. I mean,
yeah.
everyone
Because
got
I
to know
bust
you.
balls. Because I fucking
Yeah.
talk shit about everybody. Why wouldn't you talk shit about me? Like
You
this
got,
is
yeah,
like,
that's a
yeah.
good thing about like you can dish it and you'll let people dish it back just as much.
Oh,
Like that's, yeah,
100%, bro.
I'm the
Throw
same
it
way
at
too.
me. I
Yeah.
love it, man. Man, this is the way I like camaraderie where when I grew up on the east side of Detroit, bro. This is what we did. We shit talked each other constantly. And the only where you got fucked up is if you were bad at shit talking. So if you talk shit like a nerd, then you were going to get fucking clowned even worse. But if you're like, yeah, well, your shoes are green, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah. No, it's all good fun,
No,
man.
that's good. And you know what
Yeah.
what I like about, you know, our group, you know, some of our water sport folks that came, we had a good water coach. So those that are listening that went to Arival, like kudos for just coming out in force. Like we had a lot of people from the forum that we had back in October come, and it's really great. I'm sure Douglas and Bruce really appreciate, you know, all the participation because a lot of us came from the East Coast to come out all over San Diego.
Everyone that I've talked to that missed California is going to be in Vegas. And honestly, I think that's just because they're a bunch of fucking Florida who like, you know, Florida's just like, nope, we're not. What? California? No, we're not going out there. They're wearing masks and stuff here. and I kept on getting fucked up on that, man, because you know, it's like here, it just never happened in North Florida, man. It was like COVID, like Delta variant happened, but it was like 3 weeks and everybody's like, yep. Let's go back to doing things the way we did before. And then I'm like, you know, I'm fucking all about it, man. And cause shit, we came back from Dallas and I was at a conference. There was in Dallas was the same thing. It was no mask, no nothing. Like everybody's passing around a cup and drinking from the same. And then I got COVID. Just so we're clear. I got COVID. My kid got COVID. Everybody got COVID.
Well, just talking about just like the safety protocols, I think the Arival team did a really good job of creating experiences outdoors when they can. I mean, we were in the beautiful California sun. Lunches were great. We were outside. There was a lot of outside parties. And it wasn't a situation where, like, I think some people thought that there was going to be like the mass Nazis coming down on you, but it wasn't like that.
What?
I mean,
wait a minute.
Just the one
my
workshop.
session got
just
my session. I'd be like, man, Kevin getting picked on a little bit. Comes in there and raises his hand. We're talking about like water, like insurance, and old Bruce fucking gets me like, everybody put their mask on. I was like, oh shit, me too. I thought I broke the rules, like except for the speakers. And I was like, thumbs up. Ding.
No, but good. But for the most part, it wasn't like people going around and just like, and I think that was like some of the concern from people that I spoke with, like they don't want to be in a situation, but it really wasn't like that. And there was a lot of open space. There was a lot of social distancing. It was very well done. Like I felt safe there. And I'm sure a lot of people felt the same. So I don't want to spend too much time, but I just wanted to mention that. But so Kevin did a theater session where we kind of talked about a hodgepodge of things like OTAs and stuff. And then he did a workshop. I went to Kevin's workshop, and Kevin, I want to say your workshop was excellent. And there was a ton of participation. I think we got a lot of people thinking outside the box and thinking internally, thinking inward about their operations. And before I talk about my session, one thing that struck me about some of the people that were in your session were that there's a lot of single operators that are trying to get out of that funk where they do everything themselves. They do the books, the tours, all that, and they're trying to make that first hire. And they're thinking like, okay, I need to raise money. I need to make these hires. I need to figure out like how to make enough money so I can delegate. And I think there's some concern about how to do it, or just the fact that if they delegate and start giving the tours to someone else, can they do the tours as well as them? And I think I felt like some insecurity is like, man, if I hire someone, they can't do it as well as I can. And that's where you have to just say, you know what, if I'm going to grow, my company, I have to understand that people are not going to be able to do things as well as I can, but I got to do my job of educating them to try to duplicate myself in other ways. That's how you make that first step of trusting people. And I've sensed that in some of the businesses that were in your workshop, that they need to get away from that way of thinking and, basically fire themselves in their current responsibilities and start hiring around them. You can go to the bank and get funding, and if you need a little loan, or if you can't get funding, try to think of products and services you can sell outside of your tours, kind of like I mentioned in my comment at the workshop, is look inward. Maybe your prices can go up. Maybe you can create, offer trip protection or other services to help add an extra 20, 25%. Maybe, add more tours or add in different products to make more revenue. But we need to get tour operators thinking outside the box and being comfortable with firing themselves so that they can grow their businesses.
But to that point, Greg, I was like, obviously I was banging that drum in my session about delegation and firing yourself. But I think before you can do those things, you need to objectively look at your operation and then figure out what your standard operating procedures are. You have to sit down and line item by line item, go down and figure out, what is it that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, on a month-to-month basis, on a quarterly basis, on a biannually basis, on a yearly basis? You need to fucking drill down into the minutia, figure it out what your processes look like, and then you can hire somebody and give them your blueprint and say, look, this is what you need to do. This is exactly how I would do it. This is how we do A, B, C, and D. And then all those fires that you end up having to put out, those fires aren't actually there anymore. So you take a year or 6 months or a quarter and you go through and make sure that you're catching all of these things. For me, it's boat trackers and making safety gear, like all this daily stuff, checks, like what time are we sending the boat up, blah, 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 whatever. I don't care what you're doing, food tours, anything. You have a set of SOPs. You need to write those SOPs down. And then you can either bring on somebody where it's like, you can, even if it's like, say, a $20,000 cut, but it frees you up to figure out how to make the next $60,000 or $80,000 because you hired a virtual assistant, because your standard operating procedures showed you a bunch of stuff that could be done online. So this is a drum I'm going to continue to bang this year, and we're going to continually be talking about some other things in this besides digital marketing, reservation technology, checkouts, and OTAs and that sort of stuff, because we can talk about that till the cows come home. But yeah. Anyway,
so that workshop was good. I just want to touch upon your theater session. So you were up, did a theater session with four or five other operators. And I'm not going to go into all the conversation, but one thing you said was really good. And Douglas asked a question about OTAs, and there's people bitching and complaining about OTAs and their policies, and I guess you made a good point. Like, let's get this straight. OTAs are public companies, or most of them are. They're going to do what's best for their shareholders first, more than their customers. It's shareholders first, and then it trickles down to everyone. You either accept it or you don't accept it. But your voice is very small, unfortunately, as a supplier. They might listen and put some things, but at the end of the day, if they're not making money, they're going to do things to make money and make their shareholders happy. Can I
interject here real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
The main point that I wanted to drive home was the tool part of it, because again, it's a little bit of a frustrating point for me, because again, I have so much other stuff going on. So you have affiliate people, like you have people that sell for TripShock that get a percentage of your percentage and such and so forth. And you have a checkout system. Obviously, if it wasn't WaveRes, it would be a little bit less because that is your company. But your checkout and your affiliate or one of your resellers are a very small, or should represent a very small part of what it is that you do. And we all do. This is why so many of us mid-sized operators are just like OTAs, ResTech, what. Some of you guys are really small and you really depend on these OTs, and I get that. But again, you have to figure out in your SOPs what it is that where they fall in and what percentage of your budget they're taking up, and then how you can start to reverse engineer that, scale that back if that's the case, and start to put some of that money, that 20%, that 30%, that 25%, whatever it is that you're putting in, and start to scale that back, and then take that same amount of money you'd be paying in commissions and put it in your direct marketing, because it should be in the same bucket. It's marketing. It's cost marketing. It's the cost to acquire a customer across the board. Direct marketing, OTAs, whatever it is that your marketing strategy is, this is a very small sliver of it. And end of fucking conversation for me personally. But then again, I'm not in Europe where they have 80% of their, but again, I problem solve. If I have a problem with fucking OTAs, or I have a problem with a fucking mechanic or a marina manager or anything fucking thing else, listen, for everybody in the fucking back, your first and foremost job is a fucking problem solver. And I don't care if you're fucking doing Temecula wine tours or you're doing a fucking $10 million water sport operation. If something is a fucking pain in your ass, it is up to you to solve for that. I don't care what your fucking market looks like. There is a solution out there.
No, you're right. It's kind of like the last episode with Steve Edwards from AMP. You got to get out there and sell your business. There is no magic solution to just, the internet. There's no magic internet solution, I should say, to get you business. Like, you have to grind a little bit, especially if you're new and you don't have, the $1 million worth of funding to hire a top shot agency to get you all the traffic. Like, most of you listening are in a situation where you don't have a big marketing budget, but you do have you have yourself. Like, you need to get out there and sell. And there's things you can do, like networking, building relationships with your competitors so you get overflow business, or maybe they can't handle a group, but you can. Like, those are like the fundamentals to growing a business. Going to Arival was a perfect opportunity to network with all of these companies that could potentially help you. That's you, right? Like, you are there making the connections. You are there building your businesses out there, selling it. So we won't beat that down too hard. I think you all get the point. But so theater session was great. Like, I love that Douglas basically had a representative from Watersports in these different sessions. Like, that is so important. Like, Justin Buzzy and Kai Capro also had sessions and workshops. So Douglas,
those guys are more like entrepreneurs, man. I don't know their waters, but they don't have. If they have a captain's license, then I'll consider them. No, man, Justin, man, he made. Shout out Justin Buzzy on his Facebook post about, like, I thought it was really creative when he was like, there's something about the only API connections we need to be worried about is like interpersonal ones, because those are the most important connections. I was like, yo, that was really fucking insightful, and it was a really witty way to fucking drive that idea home, because I couldn't agree more. Kai, man, you listen to this show, I'm a big fan of everything he fucking does, a pedal pub, and fucking Kai personally, he's on the other end of the phone if I ever have a question, and vice versa. He called me, smart, handsome, good-looking Kai asked me a question. I was like, what? I'm a dummy, and I don't have the genes you do, Kai. Don't ask me questions. But yeah, no, those guys are great. But let's talk about Web3 a little bit, because this is the invisible elephant in the room, and this was this is your session. You guys talked about, Peter covered the Web3, you covered NFTs. You gave away, you created an NFT and gave it away to all the people in the room. Like, I thought that was really cool, man. It was a really nice marketing move. And man, I bet you the guys at Arival really like that. They're like,
obviously every day I've been getting more people messaging me that didn't go to our session that want the Arival NFT. So if you're listening and you went to Arival, you didn't go to our session, I will send you the Arival NFT. So just send me your wallet. But yeah, so Peter did a phenomenal. He's a great speaker, by the way. Peter did a phenomenal job explaining the core of Web3, why it's important, and basically to break it down in the easiest way is Web3 is all about ownership of your digital footprint, and also giving access and being able to revoke it when, like, giving your information to businesses and websites, and being able to revoke that at any given time. Like in Web 2, and just to briefly explain, Web 2 is companies like Facebook and Google who have tons of data points on every single person, and they use that to control things. So control things as in like advertising, software, access, things like that. Like, we don't really have as much control in Web 2. Now, Web 3 is about giving that power back to the person, and us giving these companies access when we grant it to them. And when we don't want them to have it anymore, we take it away. But the advantages of giving these businesses access, we give them information on us that they can use to enhance our experience. It's like going to a hotel. We give them access to our data. They use that data to create an amazing experience for us. And then when we leave the hotel, we can take that data back.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to break it down for laymen a little bit, like myself. So when this was a question that I asked you, just because people are saying, like, what is this? NFTs are JPEGs, cryptocurrencies like funny money. I don't understand what it means. There's a lot of guys that are in my age and older that are just like, oh, this is a bunch of bullshit, right? Those same guys that were my age and older were probably saying the same thing back in 96 when fucking AOL Instant Messenger came out. I was like, this internet thing is bullshit. So Web3 is definitely not bullshit. The first applications will be business to business. Obviously, we can already kind of sort of see that happening. Obviously, there'll be a lot of speculation because it's new technology. It's a new tool. And then the third thing will be business to customer once mass adoption happens. So Greg's an early adopter. Peter Simon's an early adopter. There's a lot more early adopters of early adoption, right? At least the whole idea, the concept. But until somebody creates a platform or a tool for this to be like, really impact your business, it's going to be really hard for you to apply it in the day-to-day other than being on the forefront, adopting the technology yourself, having a basic understanding of it so you can be one of the first. So you can be the first guy in your market to go, hey, I'm going to accept PayPal. Now it's like, fuck me, man. I love PayPal. I love Facebook wallets. And I remember when eBay, and I hate to be old or whatever, but you didn't put your credit card on the computer. You didn't do this sort of thing. But now having those payment structures, it makes e-commerce a lot more enticing to somebody like me who's like lazy and wants to buy what I want to buy and I want to be done and I want to be out there. I don't want to pull out my credit card and put it in. All this stuff is going to make those applications a lot easier. As far as how far that's out, I don't think anybody really knows that at this point. But I think Greg's the summation of the thing about NFTs was like, get involved in it now, have an understanding of it now, so you're not late to the game like on Google pay-per-click or remarketing or digital marketing.
The whole idea the whole premise of our presentation was not to like jump into Web3 and crypto and NFTs and apply it to your business today. The whole idea is to give some use cases. Like one of the use cases was using NFTs as digital souvenirs for your trip. Like someone completes a tour, you give them a NFT of a landscape of your tour, and they keep it as a memento for their travels, and they put it in their crypto wallet and they go on. Maybe you do something with it at a later date, like give repeat guests who hold that NFT a discount. That's just one simple way of using it. We talked about some other different use cases for events and stuff, but I just wanted to give people a quick overview of what it could mean for travel. And what I wanted people to do when they left was download a crypto wallet. So people downloaded crypto wallets on their phones, and we gave them a free Arival NFT. And it's so great because I've had conversations with people in the past few days. This is their first NFT. This is the first time they downloaded a crypto wallet, and they're loving it. I actually helping someone buy some NFTs the other day, like, cause they're like, I just want to experiment with this. And that was like the other message was just start experimenting with it, buy some crypto, maybe buy some NFTs and just see how it all works so that when we start getting to mass adoption, you are not left outside, because it has taken me 6 months to really grasp this. So if you start
and you're smarter with this shit than
I know
everybody in the room.
It is and I've lost money. I've just like, it's been a journey, quite the journey, but I know that I feel I'm ready. I am ready for whatever comes our way in travel or business. And I want all of you listening to be ready too. And everyone in the room. And we had a good audience that was there. And the fact that it was the last day of the conference, one of the last workshops, we had almost a full room. So there's people that are interested in this stuff. So that was good. Yeah. I'm really glad Douglas made it part of the programming, and I hope in Vegas we continue the conversation.
Yeah, so I'm going to start my own NFT. It's going to be called No More Fucking Technology.
No more fucking technology. Oh, just by the way, I did. Kevin has an NFT now. Well, we have a joint wallet, and I'm
going to be rich. NFT. I can't wait.
Yeah, you are going to get rich.
What is it? It's a bass fish, right?
It's a bass fish. Yeah. Little tiger fish. It's funny. Remember when I asked everyone in the audience, like, who has an NFT? And Buzzy's like, yeah, man, I flip NFTs. I make money. And Peter stops him. He's like, listen, don't listen to this guy. This is not what you want to hear. No. It was nobody
understood a word Peter said because it was in that thick Scottish fucking dialect. Oh, no fucking fucking you want your money. What? The fuck did you just say, man?
Oh God. Okay.
You think you're gonna make a lot of money? Buzzy's all right. Buzzy was on the same room, dude. Like I kept on like on a side, they were having like. Now I'm not saying this is always happening, but we kind of had like a party next door, like a techno party, like 10 o'clock, and I was leaving, so I didn't give a shit. I was going to the club with Steve. Oh man, I got a great story about that. But yeah, I saw Buzzy. I caught Buzzy in the room, but I actually want to tell a story. This is completely an aside, but it was one of my favorite moments from Arrival. So I don't go to clubs. Surprise, surprise. And we go to this club, and they have this dry ice smoke, and it's like fucking like gagging me, man. And they don't ask me to wear a mask in there, but I'm like looking for my mask to put it back on because I can't breathe, right? And then fucking every time somebody orders bottle service, all these girls in like whatever come out with like this big signs, the champagne train, and they do like fucking flashing strobe lights. And then every time there's this crazy alarm that the DJ drops, and it's just like, boing, boing. So I got this fucking smoke and strobe lights and fucking alarm, and I feel like the place is on fire. I'm looking at Steve, I'm like, get me the fuck out of here, dude. Like, this is no place. I lean into Steve's ears, I go, combined total, you and I are 84 years old. We do not belong in the club. We do not belong in this environment, and we need to get out and get to bed and make some reasonable goddamn decisions, get up early in the morning and go for a jog. Who's with me? Nobody was with me. They all stayed. I drank water and grumbled to myself.
Jeez. So those are the kind of overview of our sessions. There are some great ones. I literally like Kai's theater session about.
Wait, hold on, no. Wait. Stop. You weren't fucking in sessions. You were in the fucking hot tub. Every text message to me was like, "Come on, everybody, get in the hot tub." Like, you've never even been in a hot tub before.
I was in the hot tub every day for several hours.
Every day.
And I'm totally okay with being called a hot tub. So there's two things that people talk to me about at Arrival: NFTs and hot tub. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, as well you should be. You should be.
I know. I'm hoping Douglas is listening, and I want to sponsor the hot tub in Vegas at the hotel, if it's possible.
I mean, how big of a hot tub are we talking here, man? What do you mean sponsor a hot tub?
I want a little sign next to the hot tub. This hot tub is sponsored by Trip Shock.
Greg Fisher. This is a personal crusade for you in the hot tub.
You know, let me tell you something. Hot tubs are communal, and when everyone's in the hot tub, we're having a good time. Other than those three ladies that were complaining.
Oh, yeah. Somebody's smoking some of the California lettuce, the devil's lettuce.
Yeah, and then she's like, "That's nasty." And then you turn around, you're like, "Bitch."
I didn't say. You were saying, like, should we invite them over? And I kind of looked over. I was like, "You really think they want to hang out with us?" They kind of look like a little Karen-y. And then they fucking exposed it to because I was like, "Hey guys, you want to come over and hang out with us still?" Like, no, you don't like weed. I don't smoke weed. I don't give a shit. But it was just like, we're in California. This is like the weed capital of the fucking world, except for Amsterdam.
So here's the thing.
Out of your ass, lady.
There's like 15 people in there. There's beer cans littered all around the hot tub. We're drinking, we're having fun, and these three ladies, uppity ladies, come and sit in there. And like, what do you expect? Like, if that was me,
you pursed your lips together to say a different word. You were gonna say three bitches.
Yeah. Okay. But what do you expect though? If we see that, like, if I was with my family, I'd be like, okay, I'll just wait until they're all having fun. Like, I'm not going to get in there tonight. Like,
no, I'd bring my kids and I'd be like, yo, hit that fucking bong, kids. Welcome to California.
Oh, but anyways, it's just kind of silly. But anyways, yeah. So I liked Kai Copro from Paddle Pub. I loved his story about, failing and persevering and all that. That was really good. So, but anyways, I don't want to drag out this episode too much, but it was phenomenal. But there are a couple themes. I'll just run through them real quick because I posted this on the Facebook group. And if you haven't joined Watersport and Tour Professionals, join our Facebook group. Just as a handful of things. So first is, I felt like just by going and listening to the res techs and the OTAs, I feel like res techs systems are innovating at a way faster pace than OTAs. I think OTAs got crushed during the pandemic and they just tried to stay afloat, where res techs crushed it. And they're doing a good job creating features and really innovate and take it to the next level. And they seem to have a way bigger presence than the OTAs did. Like I remember one Arival Groupon had a huge sponsorship. Expedia was there. Viator had a huge presence. All these big OTAs. Klook. I didn't hardly see any of them there. I mean, I saw a handful of people from Get Your Guide, and Viator had a couple people, but the ResTech systems definitely had a bigger presence there, and the OTAs had a much smaller presence. And also, I just feel like there's just a lot more going on with ResTech. So that was just one thing. Another theme was connectivity was big. So interconnectivity between reservation systems, OTAs, waiver softwares, just connectivity was a huge theme that, we're not going to see like manual actions much anymore. Like, I know you, Kevin, like you're not going to sign up for an OTA that's going to require you to enter your bookings into your system. It's just not going to happen anymore. Not in 2022. So connectivity was like a big theme. Looks like everyone's pretty optimistic about 2022, whether it be US or domestic. We are all kind of seemed confused about what Google is up to. They killed their reserve with Google booking button. And now they're launching this Google things to do with ads. I don't think anyone had like a real clear picture of what Google is doing. I don't know. Did you, Kevin, understand what's going on?
No.
Yeah, it seems to be a big mystery.
We'll bring Ilya on. He went and talked to him, and then they're trying to like figure out like how they can have their cake and fucking eat it too. Even though I hate that saying, but, eat their cake and have it too, I guess, because like they want to take ad dollars, they want to take the $200 million a quarter from Get Your Guide, but then they also want to like infringe on their traffic and see if they can get some of that sweet fucking, percentages too, but I don't even know if that's what they're doing or how the thing.
Who knows? Yeah, I'm so confused.
Data is,
I think that Google thought they could figure this out because they're Google, and the reserve at Google thing did not pan out well. I have not heard any good things from either the OTAs.
Can I dive in here? So I just want to say something. Like I was at almost 0 sessions because I was talking to operators.
Okay.
So I want everybody to understand something here. If you go to Arival, all right, and here's where I'm going to co-sign the hardest for Arival. You can go to all these sessions, right, and you're getting a soft sell. Just so you're clear here, there's people that are selling you reservation technology, waiver fucking technology, OTA optimization technology, OTAs, fucking everyone's got something for sale. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people have shit for sale. But if you go and do the networking and talk to people that are in your industry, outside of your industry, and have conversations about what's happening in their businesses, what's happening in your business, there's a lot of tips and tricks and shortcuts and things and mistakes that you can learn from other operators simply by being at the event. I learn more from the people around me and from the people that are doing this stuff every single day. Look, Arival's got sponsors. Arival's. It's a business conference. Every business conference has sponsors. Every fucking conference has people trying to sell you shit. It's, but the networking for me, that whatever it was a ticket, $800 a ticket or $900 a ticket, it was worth it for me to go and share my story and hear their story and commune back and forth, because this is where where the juice is worth the squeeze on that, is that you're going to get ideas from other operators by talking to people outside of your market that want to share information.
Yeah, just like Douglas says in the beginning, like this truly is your Arival. You can do what you want. You can go to the sessions or not go to the sessions. You can talk to people the entire time or not. You can stay in the hot tub the entire time or not stay in the hot tub. I would recommend staying in the hot tub long because there's great conversations in the hot tub.
Get gonorrhea.
Yeah, exactly. But it's true. Like the best way to experience Arival, in my opinion, is to pick a few sessions or pick any sessions that you feel you're going to get a lot of value. And like Kevin said, some of the people holding those sessions, they are business owners. And Douglas does do a good job of making sure like it's not like a lot of software companies leading sessions, because they're always going to he's going to soft sell. Like your session, there was no soft selling of software companies, right? It was you, 2 operators. So
selling my jokes, and the only payment is a fucking chuckle, even if it's forced.
Yeah, and Douglas knows that understands like hell, if I was an OTA giving a presentation, how can I not like soft sell my business a little bit? It's you can't. But
I mean, well, it's our show. There's like a soft sell for Trip Shock. You know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, we're all soft selling. Like we all, It's not like you're trying to be a jerk or anything. Like, no. I love Trip Shock. I'll soft sell for you all fucking day, man. I'll hard sell for you. I don't give a shit. I love Trip Shock. The only reason I'm not over at Peak Pro is because they're not hooked up with my, the guys that I do business with. And I don't know. There's like a whole lot of shit that you can learn in the margins at Arival, and the connections that you make and the relationships that you make. I mean, I'm trying to figure out a new deal, and I can call Kai Capro. I wouldn't have Kai Capro's phone number if it wasn't for Arival. If I wanted to call Douglas, if I had his number, I could get it through Greg maybe. Or he didn't give me his
I wouldn't give your number to him. I wouldn't do that to Douglas. Are you kidding?
Douglas loves me. Get out of here.
But here's the thing. It's all about how you think you're going to get like, I love the networking. I mean, even the bar, like we're from 10 o'clock to whenever you stay at the bar and you're drinking with all C-level executives and they're sharing insider information about the industry. I mean, not like trade secrets or anything, but they're really sharing some incredible information that you're not going to get anywhere else. And, just to me, that's worth several $100s to me, that information, because I could be making really good decisions for my business. And it's good from an OTA, even to a single operator. So the networking, and like I said, I only went to maybe 3 or 4 sessions, not including the theater. Like I said, I was out networking and meeting operators, like forming connections. I spent a lot of time in the networking lounge, which I love. It's real communal. It's perfect to get business done. And with there being less people at this conference, because there's usually around, 1,700, 2,000 people, there's less people. I was able to spend more time with everybody. Like even you and I were sitting down like that first day, and we had this long conversation. We're like, damn, like other than the podcast, we haven't really had time to just chill and talk and just hang out, physically. And it's like, I had many of those conversations with people, and we think like, oh my gosh, like because there's not so many people here, we're not pulled in like 100 different directions. So I sponsored Arival this year, and I told Bruce and Douglas that this was my favorite Arival because I was able to hang out. I was able to relax. I was able to have meaningful conversations, long conversations with people. I got incredible amount out of this. And then all the extracurricular stuff, going out to dinners and hanging out with, it was a blast. Like all the dinners we went to. I mean, even in my birthday dinner at the Argentina Steakhouse, Kevin and Ilya, and we had Nathan from Sunset Watersports and
all
my
of
whole Trip Shock team.
Saying happy birthday to you at lunch.
Oh yeah. You're an asshole.
I made all of Arival sing happy birthday to my buddy Greg. I didn't think I was an asshole. I really thought it was an endearing gesture. But to Greg's point, if you're thinking like, man, I don't got like $800 or $1,000, or it sounds like, man, you guys are going out to dinner every night, Argentinian Steakhouse, sitting in the hot tub. Like, man, you guys sound like you're real ballers. Like, man, this is not the case at all. You can go to Arival. They like provide lunch. They provide appetizers at the after. Like there's just like a lot of stuff you can do without going there and breaking a leg. If you are a single operator, and real quick, I got to touch on that for a second, bro. Like the love that our show got from those of you guys that we had no idea were listening that are not from water sports. And if you're listening to this and this is your first show, checking us out, you heard about us at Arival. Thank you, Arival, also for co-signing our show. But if this is your first time listening to us and because you want to hear about the Arival recap and you're not in our industry, guys, we're talking about real world business shit. This is not just, you can get shit from this show and the people that we bring on and the smart, highly intelligent men and women that come and do this show. The smart guy that's sitting, well, not next to me, but he looks like he's sitting next to me. But and the things that I've learned along the way too, we're trying, this can be applied to any business. I don't care if you're doing a walking tour in Tucson, if you're selling pizzas, hamburgers, you got a gym, there is kernels of information from our industry that can be applied to any industry. And so if you're a first time owner operator, if you're a water sport guy, if you're doing some kind of other tour and you're just a small guy and you don't think you can afford this, spend the $800, come out, shake hands, find something there that's going to save you 5 times that, 10 times that, a lesson that you can apply that's going to make you $80,000 or $8,000. And the 800 is an investment into your learning. It's an investment into your network. And it's an investment in friendship, because if you sit down and come and hang out with us at the hot tub, we're going to get it wild, baby.
Well, wouldn't you say that a large majority of the businesses that are there are either very successful or wildly successful? In my opinion, like a majority of them are wild.
Yeah.
I mean, why not be around people like that? Hang out,
I think
like have a
mix,
drink. Like, honest. I mean, like these are some of the highest performers, you know, that you'll meet in tours and activities. It's a great group. So that's a cheap ticket, super cheap ticket in the large scheme of things.
And look, we had Torrin and me share the session. I do water sports, I do jet skis. Torrin does bicycle tours. But we were like bing, 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 back and forth, talking about the same books that we read, these ideas are universal in business, guys. This is not specific to water sports. It's not specific to walking tours. It's not specific to tourism. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it is specific to tourism. But again, a lot of applications that you can learn from Arival. And again, first time listeners from the show, that's my soft sell. The only thing I'm getting off this show is communing with you guys, hearing your stories, sharing your journey, sharing your mind. And for all those of you guys who came up to me and fucking gave love for the show, thank you guys so much, man. It really did mean a lot. Some of y'all's stories were really touching, and I appreciate getting to know each and every one of you guys. That wasn't the sessions. I was out there hobnobbing with you. Special. Yeah. Anyway, so that, I mean, I don't know. That about caps the recap, right? Yeah. Done.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
All right. Well, we are going to wrap it up. This is a great recap. If you have any comments, just get on the Facebook group and just comment on the show post. And we'd love to hear what you thought about Arival, what you think could have been done better, what you liked about it. If you're going to come to Vegas, we want to have a huge showing in Vegas again. I think we'll have a blast. And I'm honestly a little afraid of Vegas. Are we going to have people going to sessions, or are people going to stay out too late and miss everything? Or I might even be at the blackjack table instead of the hot tub. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I don't know, man. I'm going to go there. I'm going to get married. I'm going to bet everything I own.
Get more tattoos. I don't know.
More regrettable tattoos. Yeah, all that shit.
It's going to be a blast, and I hope we see everybody.
Arrival right across my forehead, and I'll spell it.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, maybe you'll get a free ticket. All right, if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to our show. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We have like 14 reviews now, so write more reviews.
We're killing it. Tell a
Instagram,
friend.
Whatever. Tell a friend, everybody. Yeah. You know what? Everyone said, you guys don't promote your show enough on the show. I'm like, well, here I am right now. Maybe we should have done this in the beginning.
Yeah, let's fucking go. I'll promote the fuck out of this show.
All right.
But no, I won't.
No.
All right, man.
Okay. All right, everyone. Hey, thanks for listening. And as always, keep it awkward.